What's up, everybody? Hope you all are having a great night. Getting into this episode of Y&R, I don't blame Phyllis not one bit for not entertaining Diane. Because at the end of the day, Diane need to go sit down. I totally agree with Phyllis, and I agree with Jack. Diane need to find something new to do. Because her trying to meddle in Summer and Kyle's business is something she would get mad at Phyllis for. And the fact that she tried to mock Phyllis for taking a high road for once, like, Phyllis is not getting involved in that shit. I mean, don't get me wrong, Phyllis definitely thought about getting involved, but she respects Summer's wishes. Summer doesn't want her to try to intervene and fix her marriage and stuff. Summer explicitly asked her not to do that, and Phyllis is keeping her word. She's not going to intervene. I mean, their kids are grown. You know what I'm saying? They need to figure this out for themselves. So I definitely agree with Phyllis and Jack. Like, Diane needs to walk away from this and let them figure this out. Like, I understand she's worried Kyle is, getting out of control, headed for a downward spiral. Okay, well, if that's what you think he's doing, and it may be hard to watch your son do that, he's still grown at the end of the day. If that's what he does, then let him hit bottom. Once he hits bottom and he's ready to get his shit together or whatever, and he stop all this childish acting out, then that's for him to come to grips with and for him to figure out. You know what I mean? Like, Diane can't be his savior. And I think a part of it is her guilt. She wants to be there for him as much as possible and fix his problems because she feels like she missed so many years with him that she owe it to him. You don't owe him that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he needs to fix his own problems. He's creating some of these problems for himself, so he needs to fix it whenever he's ready to fix it. She can't do it for him. So moving on from that, I'm glad Summer and Kyle are in a cordial place, as far as Harrison is concerned. I mean, it is big of Kyle to even still allow Summer to be in Harrison's life, because he could be petty and say, well, I'm his dad, you're just his stepmom or whatever. Because last time I checked, Summer didn't adopt him. Not to my knowledge, Summer never legally adopted the boy. So as far as custody go, that's a moot, it's a mute conversation. Because if she never adopted him and she's just a step parent, she has no grounds for custody. You know what I'm saying? Like, all she could do is go to Kyle and ask, to see the kid. If they don't have no legal documentation with her as his parent. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't think the biological mother, what's her name, Tara? I don't think she ever signed away her parental rights. So unless they went through all that legal jargon, Summer don't got a leg to stand on where Harrison is concerned. So it is very generous of Kyle to still allow her to be in the boy life because he does see her as another mother. So, I think it's cool that they're keeping it peaceful for his sake, as they should. I'm not surprised that Kyle is happy that, she endorses the fact that Nikki used, Audra's job to try to break her and Kyle up. Of course Summer's not, going to be upset about that. She don't want Kyle to be with Audra anyway. Even if he's not with her anymore, she'd rather he be with somebody else or be single than to be with Audra. So I'm not shocked by that. But you know what? Kyle, he gonna have to figure his life out. Kyle has been acting an ass ever since this whole Phyllis Summer nonsense. He been showing out. And if he want to self-destruct or do stupid things or whatever and want to have a little bit of fun on the side or whatever, listen, let that boy do what he do. He want to be childish, let him be childish. I wouldn't even play the game with him. If I was Summer or Diane or anybody, I'd let that boy be. So moving on from that, what the hell is Jack thinking? Like, Jack should know not to trust Billy, and I think he's starting to see it more and more. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been told countless times not to trust Billy, and his instincts, he knows not to trust him. The mere fact that Billy wants to use Devon to get to Tucker, and at first Jack, Jack hasn't been on board with that. But naturally, he thought, okay, maybe we could do that. But of course, Jack being Jack was like, nah, I had second thoughts, I ain't gonna do it. Because I think it's a respect thing. Jack respects Neil. And he's not gonna use Neil's son like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not in his nature. As bad as he wants Tucker out of the way, I don't think he's willing to stoop that low to use Devon or Dominic to do it. And that's where he should have known Billy wasn't going to listen. The mere fact that he told Billy, don't do this. Billy going to do it. Billy going to do it. Billy likes this kind of drama. Like, Billy not going to back away from this. If he feels like this is the right thing to do, he's going to do it. But what Jack needs to realize is him and Billy are not on the same page, and they're heading for a collision course. They're sitting here trying to get rid of Tucker, but I think in the end it's going to be Jack and Billy who's going to self-destruct. They're going to destroy each other in the long run. You know what I mean? Because it's going to get to a point where they're going to start feuding. Because they're laying the groundwork for it now. You know? Like Billy secretly wants that CEO job. He secretly wants to run the company by himself. Like he wants to be at the top solely. You know what I mean? Because he already know that Jack thinks very little of him. Or he feels Jack think, little of him. But in my opinion, Billy should be happy that he's co-CEO because, I mean, dude has been a failure at all these businesses. Like him running Jabot before, major failure. I mean, the man stole from the company. Like, dude stole from the company, was gambling while he was CEO. He failed when he was working for Victoria. He failed when he ran his restaurant. He failed when he ran Restless Style. The man failed. Okay, miserably at all these different ventures. He failed. So I can see why nobody really has any type of, trust when it comes to Billy running a company. I mean, they don't. And I can't say I blame them. He's a failure. He's the perfect failure. Like, this is what Billy does. He self-destructs. He likes this type of stuff. So I'm not surprised that, Jack was pissed off when he went behind his back. I'm like, duh, Jack, that's what he does. He goes behind people's back. He does underhanded things. I think it was stupid of him to go to Devon to try to turn Devon against Tucker because I feel like it can backfire on Billy and it can backfire on Jack because of the simple fact that going to Devon and trying to turn Devon against Tucker, I think that's only going to piss Tucker off even more. It's only going to fuel him. You know what I'm saying? Plus, they already don't want to hear his side of the story when it comes to Ashley. They just think everything is Tucker's fault. That whole beef that Ashley had with Diane and Jack, that was because Ashley wanted to beef with them. Ashley was doing all that. Tucker got annoyed every time Ashley would talk about Jack and Jabot and Diane. He got annoyed. He tried to get her away from that. She wanted to continue the feud, not him. But yet they're going to blame all of this on Tucker, though. It's stupid. Like, Ashley's a grown-ass woman. She made all these decisions all on her own. You know what I'm saying? And it's bad that they think everything is Tucker's fault because it makes them look sexist and stupid. And it makes them look dumb because it makes it seem like Ashley can't think for herself. Like, she doesn't have a brain of her own. Like, people have to be a mouthpiece for her. And that's not such. Ashley's a grown woman. She knows exactly what she was doing. She's the one that wanted to come after Jabot and take over. That was all her. But anyway, I definitely feel like it's gonna backfire on them. I do. I feel like it's just gonna fuel Tucker even more to go after them. And you know what? I was happy that Phyllis took Tucker up on his offer. I was. Because after the way Jack talked to her on yesterday's episode, the way, Jack talked to her, I was happy that she aligned herself with Tucker. Because I said, what the hell? Jack talks to you like dirt. I mean, granted, Billy was the one that was nice to her. But why not? Shit, you need money. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Take the deal. They already think less of Phyllis as it is. I was surprised, though, that Tucker didn't want Jabot's financials. Because I thought that's what he wanted. Like, Jabot's information and stuff. He wanted Billy's personal finances. I was like, what are you up to, Tucker? Like, what are you going to do with Billy's personal finance statements? Like, what are you going to do with this? Are you going to plant something? Are you going to, make it look like he doing something? Like, what are you doing, sir? Because that kind of threw me off guard. Because I agree with Phyllis. I really thought he was going after Jabot's, documentation, not Billy's personal documents. I was like, okay, what you up to now? I'm curious. I knew Phyllis was going to take that deal. I knew it because, shit, she need money bad. The insurance company want their coin. Plus, not only is she going to be able to pay off her debts, but she going to walk away with a little extra money for herself. You know what I'm saying? You walking away with, $200,000 for yourself, for your own pocket. After you pay the insurance, they $2 million. You know what I'm saying? That's not a bad deal to me. I wouldn't even give a damn what Tucker wanted me to hack into. I'll just do it. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what, I don't feel like she's really going to make peace with Jack. Even though Billy, commended Jack on him being forgiven and stuff like that. But obviously he ain't no close to forgiving Phyllis. So I can't blame Phyllis for looking out for Phyllis. I mean, shit, it's in her nature. Why not? I'll be looking out for me too. So anyway, moving on from that, I wonder who the hell Victor sold his stake in Chancellor to. I don't blame Lily for going to him for answers and stuff, because I would have too. Like, sir, who you selling the company to? Like, you selling your share of the company to? And he being all quiet about it. Because I seen some people on Twitter saying, oh, he probably sold it to Tucker. I don't see him selling that shit to no Tucker. Victor don't even like Tucker. One, he don't like Tucker. Two, I think whoever he sold it to is probably not a nefarious person, because he loves Chancellor. You know what I'm saying? Because of Catherine. I don't think he would ever do Catherine's company like that. You know, trying to sell his share to somebody that's going to damage it, or, you know, like be a pain in the ass to Devon or Lily. Because he does respect Devon and Lily, especially because of Neil. You know, so I don't see him doing nothing like that. I heard Mamie was coming back, so maybe he sold it to her. You know, possible, because I remember the last time she was on, she did say she made some millions and stuff off that 1 million that Jill gave her, you know, as payment for her to get out of town or whatever. So I could see her, you know, buying a stake in the Chancellor and whatnot. I think that'd be good for Lily and Devon to have, you know, family being a part of the company. I think that'd be good, especially her. You know, at least they ain't got to have to worry about a Nate situation with Mamie. Um, so I'm hoping that Victor did right. You know what I'm saying? He sold his stocks to somebody that's, you know, trustworthy and that's going to be good to them and stuff like that. That's going to be a good partner. Not somebody that's going to be a drill sergeant or a pain in the ass or trying to come in and take over the company or whatever. So hopefully he ain't do nothing stupid like that. I would hope not. For Neil's sake, I would hope he didn't do that, you know, out of respect. Honestly, I feel like with Billy too going to Devon, I feel like Devon isn't. You know, I think he gonna listen to Tucker. I think Devon will talk to Tucker first, try to get his side of things, because that's what Devon wants to know. Like, he desperately wants to know, like, what the hell happened between Tucker and Ashley, because all he knows is probably Ashley's version of it, because Tucker hasn't been very, you know, forthcoming with information. So even if Devon, you know, decides to turn against Tucker, like I said, I don't think that's gonna make Tucker leave like the Abbott think that he will. You know, don't seem like Tucker would tuck tail and run like that. I think he'll figure out what the Abbotts are up to, and that'll just fuel him more to take their ass down. But anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what you all thought, and I will see you all later. Peace.